Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Before we begin, I just want to wish you all happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that jazz. I know it's hard to think about Christmas considering everything that's going on in the world right now, but for all of you out there, I hope you're all having a happy and safe Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate around this time of year. Now, the pandemic has taken away a lot of things, obviously, but one thing it did not take away was movies for me to talk about because we got some Christmas movies coming out. Well, not Christmas movies like Home Alone, Elf, and whatnot. We're talking about movies that just happen to come out on Christmas Day. We have four of them: News of the World, Pinocchio, Promising Young Woman, and the big one, and the most controversial one, Wonder Woman 1984. We're going to go over all of these in order. So, first things first, News of the World. Okay, News of the World. So, as usual, we're going to go over the pros and cons for News of the World. So, yeah, let's get to it. Pros: movie stars Tom Hanks. Sure, his recent box office has been very spotty. He's still a legend. He's still, one of the most prolific actors ever. He's had so many, memorable movies like, it was Big, Forrest Gump, Castaway. Recently there was Sully and Captain Phillips. The Toy Story series, can't forget that. There's a whole lot. The dude has a massive resume. So obviously, if anybody's gonna see this movie, it's gonna be because of Tom Hanks. So yeah, I guess that's a pro and a con. We'll get to his flops when we get to the cons, but yeah, that's a pro. Another pro. I mean, that's trying to think. I mean, it is coming out in theaters. Theaters, it's better for them to have something rather than nothing. And I, I mean, dang it, I'm struggling. I mean, there's that. I mean, it's also Christmas. The holiday season is historically been very giving to a lot of movies because what happens is that once Christmas Day comes and the rest of the year, the box office explodes. Like weird things happen, like what happened with The Greatest Showman and Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. For a lot of movies, like their box office goes up for the last few days of the year after Christmas. But Christmas is where it starts, and then it goes strong through the rest of the year. So yeah, I mean, it should do relatively better than most of the pandemic movies because of that. So it will have better legs. So yeah, there's that. Uh, I heard it has good reviews, so that will probably persuade older audiences to watch the movie. I mean, it didn't stop him from seeing Let Him Go, although that came out right before the pandemic started getting really bad. So that had a more that had better timing. And this isn't a pro or a con. This is just something that kind of it's a dumb thought. But for some reason, just watching this movie, like the first time I saw the trailer, for this dumbest reason, it reminded me of Kevin Costner's The Postman. It was an infamous flop by him. Came out also around Christmas time in 1997, when a certain movie about a certain ship came out around the same time. Nobody watched it, but the thing is, that movie was post-apocalyptic. This is in the past in the Civil War, but for some reason, it reminded me of it. I don't know why, but it just did. All right, cons. Do I need to say it? I'm gonna say it. Pandemic. Pandemic's gotten worse, far worse. Although the vaccine is, well, kinda out there, it's gonna take a very long time before we get anything under control So yeah, that doesn't change much. It won't change much when it comes to box office. So News of the World is kind of screwed here because the pandemic is still raging. So yeah, that's definitely a con. Also, the fact that a lot of theaters are closed. From my what I've heard, only 2,300 theaters in the U.S. are open out of like 5,500. That's terrible. That's less than half. So even if News of the World wanted to make a lot of money, it can't. There's no way it's going to. And it's only going to open like apparently like 1,900 theaters or something like that. So it's pretty much crippled at this point. So yeah, that's definitely a con. Another con is Tom Hanks. I mean, sure, the dude is has had a lot of classic films, but in recent times, yeah, it's been anything but that. We'll look at the 2010s. Oh, I forgot to mention Polar Express and well, we don't talk about the Da Vinci Code movies; those were bad. But let's look at this: a Larry Crown flop, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close flop, Cloud Atlas. I love that movie, but it's still a flop. Bridge of Spies did Captain Phillips did good. Sam Mr. Banks did okay-ish. Inferno bombed. Sully did great. The Circle bombed. The Post did okay. Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood disappointed. And Greyhound was supposed to come out this summer, but that obviously didn't happen. It went to Apple Plus. So yeah, as you can see, the track record is not the best in the world. So yeah. Yeah. His drawing power is not as strong as it used to be. Obviously. Uh, I guess another con is that I mean, there's Wonder Woman. That's going to be the main news. That's where all the attention is going to go. So it might get left in the dust a bit. I mean, it is more prolific than say Pinocchio or Promising Young Woman, but it's definitely nowhere near as prolific as Wonder Woman. So it has to worry about that too. I mean, after that, it has no real competition. I mean, there won't be another movie coming out until the 8th, I think. Maybe. It doesn't have a trailer or anything, but from last I checked, there will be a movie playing on the 8th called I Saw the Devil. It's like a horror movie. We all know how January horror movies are. So, yeah. But that's all I can come up with. So opening weekend, because Christmas is opening on a Friday, that's always a great day for box office. The last two times this happened was 2009 and 2015. 2009 had Avatar dominating, becoming the biggest movie of all time domestically. And then 2015, you had Star Wars The Force Awakens dominating, becoming the biggest movie in domestic history. And now we've reached this. It's such a huge come down. It's insane. But I'm gonna guess it will open to $4 million opening weekend, maybe 4 million, and then overall will probably have longish legs. So I'm guessing 15, 20 million, maybe a bit more if it's lucky, because again, Christmas season can be very unpredictable. So yeah, 15 to 20 million. That's the most I'm comfortable with. Yeah, so that's news of the world. So up next is Pinocchio, a movie that exists. I don't know why. Then Promising Young Woman to Wonder Woman 1984, and then we're done for 2020. Thank Christ. I'm done with 2020. I want 2020 to burn in a ditch. I never want to think about it ever again. So yeah, immediately after News of the World, this video, we're doing Pinocchio. So yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got a playlist on the homepage full of all the movies I did predictions for this year. I know it's not a lot, but Give me a break. There's not much I can do. I also have two other playlists. I have box office recaps where I go over like monthly box office. Recently, I've been doing double recaps. I just did October and November. I will do December and January, but that won't come until February, so that'll be a long time from now. And there's also the canceled series that goes over every movie that was supposed to come out around this time but didn't for obvious reasons, which is a shame because there were so many movies I wanted to cover, like Dune. I would love to talk about Dune, but I can't because 2020 wanted to be cruel to me. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.